Guys, it is very important to understand the basic approach towards Indian economy. Otherwise, you will not be able to grasp how to study Indian economy. Now, it is not economics which you have to study. They don't ask much questions on economics, like what is elasticity. Okay, basic economics concept are needed, like what is demand and supply and all that. But economics per se is not asked. They will not ask you equilibriums and all those things. They will ask you Indian economy or even world economy maximum. So we will see introduction to Indian economy as well as world economy. World economy is smaller part. Indian economy is the much larger part. So let's see the basic approach towards that. And this is presented by me, Roman Saini. Again, economics is not asked. Economy is what is usually asked in the UPSC exams. So it is one of my favorite subject, and I feel really strong in this. But I feel like much stronger in subject like science, and I have mucked up a lot of facts and understood most of the concepts here. And I still catch up with the question papers and current affairs to stay relevant. Okay. Uh, and most of the material, teacher videos, blogs, books, etc., which you will go through, they are crap. However, on Unacademy, if you go to the UPSC and economy section, you will find like a really great answers there. And these videos which are there and material which are there and offline material, especially if you go to the violence of Rajendra Nagar, they will definitely not help you, and they are going to distract you a lot, and you will be like taken away from the path. So this strategy is the filtered out version of what actually worked for me, and it will work for 90% of you, maximum 95% of you. But 5 to 10% of you on either side of the spectrum, you will curse me that this is a bogus strategy and this will not work. So I'm not making for you. So only for those who make sense, please follow it. Otherwise, you can make your own strategy, no issues. So let us see the analysis of the paper. Okay. So if you see like 18, 10, 16, 24, 26. So these are the number of questions which they usually ask. So if you see roughly around 15 to 20% of the paper is from economy, and this we are talking about the prelims. In GS paper 3, like which consists of science, disaster and all these things are there, economy is there. Roughly 50-60% of the paper in GS3 also comes from this, and it also helps in essay and personality interview. So 15% of the paper, if it is coming from one subject, okay, so then definitely that is like not done in any case at all. So 18, 10, 16, 24, 26, these are the things which you need to understand. Now why it should be studied first of all? Because 15 to 20% of the paper comes from it, and it will help in the pre, mains and personality test. All the three spectrum are covered. For example, if you study ethics, it will definitely not help in your prelims at all. If you study essay writing, it will definitely not help in your prelims. If you study English, Hindi, which are a compulsory subject, it will not help you in prelims. If you study for your optional, it will not help you in prelims, but this will help you in your prelims, mains, as well as personality interview. And it is one of the most predictable that questions, 10 questions at least, will always come from the economy. And this is one of the easiest to score area if you have a right strategy, if you have the right approach, if you know how to play with the examiner. And questions are usually moderate in difficulty, but they can be difficult also. They are not usually easy. They are either moderate or they are difficult, but they are not usually easy. There are good books. People read Sanjeev Verma, people read Economic Survey, some people read Ramesh Singh. It is not like Lakshmikant ki there is one great book which everybody should read, but here are a lot of choices. But again, I'll say that if you go to economy section of Unacademy, you will find a lot of great courses created by toppers and offline educators of this portion. Mostly they ask dynamic portion, but static portion is also asked a lot of time. That is not at all true that static portion is not asked at all, and it will help you even when you are in service. So even when you become an IAS officer or IPS or IRS, this is one subject which will definitely help you. On the other hand, like art and culture may not help you that much in your service. I'm not saying it is totally useless, but some subjects like polity, economy are much more useful than the others. Now, why am I teaching you Indian economy? One needs to be aware of one's surroundings. So that is like definitely you need to get it done. Then a lot of day-to-day economy news is there. Otherwise, you will not be able to grasp it. If you do not know the basics, there is no way you are going to grasp it. So many summits keep on happening. So many depression, meltdown, crisis, this rating, that rating, WHO report, all these comes under economy. Now, if you know the basics, you can focus on important facts, keywords and phrases which is required. And one should read Indian economy even if you are not an UPSC aspirant. and beware of similar looking options and also changes in data. For example, growth rate, HDI index, these changes like anything, and whatever in news is there in the static portion of the topic, that become important. For example, if they are asking about growth rate, then they may ask what is GDP, how it is calculated, what is the base year, which body is responsible for the calculation, okay, which body is responsible for publishing economic survey, and so on and so forth. So whatever it is in news, static portion of that topic becomes very important. Okay, sorry for this, it should be economy. So read the concept first and try to understand it, then highlight the 4 to 5 keywords, and then have a basic idea about the background and performance in the past. Especially look if the similar concept is there in economic survey and budget, if it is applicable. Then look for the related government schemes and other government provisions if it is there. Then look for cause and effects, because that is also important, and look for exceptions if there are any. Then let us see some question. The establishment of payment bank is being allowed in India to promote financial inclusion. Which of the following statement is correct? Payment banks can issue both credit card and debit card. This is 100% wrong. And since second is wrong, the only option that can be correct is B, 1 and 3. So 1 and 3 are 100% wrong. So here payment banks are in news, and if you do not follow news properly, there is no way you are going to get it correct. So answer here is B, and this was just asked last year. I am not talking about 10 years ago. So as you can see, payments bank can issue only debit cards, not credit cards. So second is wrong. So answer becomes B. Digital payment cashless transaction was in news. Which of the following is most likely consequence of implementing the unified payments interface? Digital currency will totally replace. See, such options are always wrong. It is impossible to do such things. So you will have to see that what is going on in life. So you'll have to like carefully look and read about the unified payment interface. I'll not tell the answer here. You can search for yourself. Okay, let's see, it is again in news. So consider the following statements. NPCI helps in promoting the financial inclusion in the country. NPCI has launched RuPay, a card payment system. So you need to understand what is NPCI, what is RuPay, what is financial inclusion. So these are the keywords. Again, Bitcoins are in news. So it was asked in 2016. Bitcoins are tracked by central banks of the country. Anyone with a Bitcoin address can receive Bitcoins from anyone else with a Bitcoin address. Online payments can be sent without either side knowing the identity of the other. So you can see second and third are definitely correct. First you may take a guess, but if you know what is cryptocurrency, so you definitely know second and third are correct. TPP was in news, Trans-Pacific Partnership. It is an agreement among all the Pacific Rim countries except Russia and China. It is a strategic alliance for the purpose of maritime security only. You need to be 100% sure what you are marking, otherwise you will get it wrong. Then Basel III Accord, or simply Basel 111, often seen in news, seeks to. So National Strategy for Biological Diversity, you know that it is related to banking sector. So all these statements become obviously wrong. Greenhouse gas emission, this is absolutely wrong. So if you just know Basel III Accord is related to Basel, now this is a static portion. This is not dynamic portion. Don't confuse it with dynamic. This is there for last 10 years. Yeah, like this is nothing new. 14th Finance Commission, again like it is a recent one. So you need to understand. It has increased the share of the states in the central division from 30 to 42%. It has made recommendation concerning sector specific grants. You need to understand everything. Venture capital fund, because a lot of startups are in news, so that is why it was asked. VC fund is basically if you give it to new entrepreneurs, and it is a long term capital which is given for 5 to 10 years. Okay, now let us see. Most of the questions are easy to moderate, and if you have read the material twice, you will definitely get it right. So focus on frequency. A few of the questions are extremely difficult, so don't change your strategy based on these. They will always be difficult and they will always be asked in the exam. There is no way you are going to predict them. Now these difficult questions will change every year, and hence no point in boiling your blood over them. So please don't focus on your strategy because of that. So some idiots want you to read a number of sources for same topics. Please ignore that idiot. Just read one source, maximum 2 sources for a topic. Make your own personal internet in your head. Make logical connections. Correlate topics as much as you can. What is reading in dynamic and static portion. Please use only simple terms, sentence. Don't use sophisticated language. So thank you for watching this lesson.